The Council of Europe Commissioner for Human Rights plays an extraordinarily important role as a challenger and a voice of conscience for the respect for human dignity on this continent. The role does not come with a huge team of people, with a vast budget. It comes with the voice of each commissioner.
Veiller pour le respect des droits de l'homme, c'est une chose théorique. Veiller pour le respect effectif des droits de l'homme, c'est autre chose. Ça, c'est les créneaux spécifiques du commissaire aux droits de l'homme.
The Commissioner is the most agile of all of the mechanisms of the Council of Europe. The Commissioner is not constrained by the need for political consensus, and the Commissioner has a stature that a visit by the Commissioner or a statement by the Commissioner cannot be ignored by the authorities.
Le commissaire, au fond, qu'est-ce qu'il est? C'est un médiateur. Il va faire la médiation entre les problèmes des citoyens et les gouvernements qui doivent les régler. Et pour ça, il faut faire aussi de la diplomatie. On dirait d'une façon un peu, disons, pas très diplomatique. Le bâton et la carotte.
Since I took up the mandate of Commissioner, I've spent a considerable amount of time engaging on issues of migration. The question of impact has to be always on our minds. We must always ask ourselves, how is what I'm doing making a difference for the better? It's rare that your impact will be the immediate change in a situation for a person. It happens, I've seen it, but it's rare. Far more often, it's contributing to a process, nudging, just moving things that little bit further in the right direction. But that's also impact and should be acknowledged.
As Commissioner for Human Rights, I attach crucial importance to dialogue with the court. Protecting vulnerable groups is something that I always saw as the main priority, and this often includes refugees, asylum seekers, children, ethnic minorities, women, LGBTIQ individuals.
I remember in 2013, I would encounter Syrian refugees everywhere I went. In Armenia, in Greece, in Italy, in France, and nobody was talking about the Syrian refugee crisis. So I did a big mission and a lot of media work where we tried to draw attention to this issue and to urge countries to create safe and legal routes for Syrians to get protection.
There was one girl who came up and said, I heard about you coming. She came with a letter. It was very nicely written, and I took it with me to the leader of that country, and we had a discussion about what they could do in order to meet that girl's what she wanted to. And it was a question of how they should treat children in school. I think about her many times because she was absolutely wonderful.
Quand on rentre dans une ville comme Grodny pour la première fois, tout est détruit, absolument détruit. Et vous trouvez une femme qui fait la queue pour manger une soupe chaude. Et quand vous approchez, vous demandez « Madame, que je peux vous aider en quelque chose ?»
No.
Elle me dit tout simplement « Non, dites à mon fils que je suis vivant. » Elle ne pensait pas à elle, pensait à son fils. Vous savez, ça vous reste pour toute la vie.
Something that will always remain with me was people suffering in Ukraine. All of this reminded me of my own country in the 90s, of Bosnia and Herzegovina, of my hometown, Sarajevo. And this visit in May 22 was almost like revisiting the time in the 90s.
The aim should, of course, be that we are not needed. Today we are very much needed, and we have to do that. And the more we do that, perhaps the closer we will come to the situation where we could just say, thank you very much, you did this well, we can leave now.
The Commissioner for Human Rights has a pretty large toolbox. The Commissioner can, for example, engage directly with governments, both quietly or publicly. The Commissioner can issue reports. The Commissioner can engage the general public through the media. But beyond that, there's also the issue of cooperation. Cooperation with the whole machinery of the Council of Europe, but also with the human rights architecture at the national level, human rights commissions, equality bodies, national civil society. By the way, the Commissioner also will increasingly have to look not just at dealing with central governments, but also with local governments, with mayors, with city authorities. And the toolbox continues to grow.